Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Gilbert, and I'm with Interactive Utopia. And today I'm here to show you how to get a timeline, Facebook page timeline into your website. Alrighty, so I'm a developer. I'm working right now on a project called Social Utopia, which is a social media management environment. Pretty much, you can log in. You can access your Facebook account, Twitter account, LinkedIn account, Google My Business account, and you can send messages and pictures, send links, view your timeline, pretty much manage your day-to-day posting operations. Alrighty, so I'll show you right away. First, in order to use this timeline, in order to retrieve the information for the timeline, you're gonna need a Facebook SDK for PHP, which is the programming language that we're going to be using for this. You can go to packages, which is a PHP package repository. That one, you can install it with Composer. It's pretty simple. If you already have Composer installed, then all you need to run is Composer require Facebook/graph-sdk. Alrighty, and that would load this specific package into your project. Make sure to run it inside of the folder of the project, because if not, it's not going to work. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out. So I'll show you an example. In here, if we log in with our Facebook account, I already have an account set up, so it's a little bit more quicker. But if you don't have an account, you have to log in to like your Facebook page. In this case, I already have one, along with other like Twitter, LinkedIn that are showing. And what we're gonna do today is this right here. Just obtain timeline. We get the date that it was posted, and then the text from the post. Alrighty, you can go a little bit more in depth, get the picture, get more information if there is. But in this scenario, we're just gonna keep it a little bit simple. Alrighty, so this is gonna be the code right here that we are gonna be using for the in order to create that timeline. First of all, we need, as I mentioned, the Facebook Graph SDK for PHP. So we make sure that we load it with our loader. In my loader, I already have the vendor folder in there, and everything that's needed for the package. So just to make it a little bit easier, if you need assistance connecting your project, you can reach out, or there's also a GitHub project. If you go to social.interactiveutopia.com, you can click on the link up here, GitHub repository, and that would have all the code that we're going to be using, and any other like the loader and all that. It's going to be in here. Alrighty, so back to the code. Pretty much we need to start a new instance of the Facebook class, from that package. So we create a new Facebook custom class. That's where we're going to be running our code from. I'll show you the class. It's pretty simple. We just have in the construct, we're pretty much just connecting to Facebook via the Facebook SDK package. And then we have some functions in here: upload photos, send message, get user information, a couple of other things. But what's going to be needed for us in this scenario, it's just going to be more the connection part of it. Once we're connected, then we can make the calls over, via the SDK. So again, this is going to be creating a new instance of the class, which is at the same time a new communication connection with Facebook, and then we just gonna start our API call. We're doing this with our version 5.0 Facebook. It's always getting updated, so hopefully this is gonna be good for some years, since it's the most recent one. But usually, after a couple of years, they tend to they have new ones, so these ones get forgotten, or they a little bit invalid at the time. But as of right now, this is the current version. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make a connection to Facebook, and with that, we're gonna save it. We're gonna save to a response to a variable call response, and that's gonna equal to the instance of the Facebook class, and then this is the connection to the class, and then we're calling the get function from there, which is pretty much getting the information. Again, if FB is going to be our connection, and you can see right here where we make the connection. We just pass some information over to Facebook, and that that in return creates a token that we can use, and then we can communicate with the server. So we're going to be sending two parameters over in order to get the feed, which is going to be your selected Facebook page, or the Facebook page that you're gonna want. That's gonna be the Facebook page ID number, and then /feed. Alrighty, that's gonna tell Facebook that you want the feed from that Facebook page. And then we need to pass or authorization token as well. That way they know that we're an authorized user, and that that we can proceed with the call. If there's any problems, we have a couple catches. One is to catch any graph errors return, or if not, if that's not the case, and if there's an actual problem with the SDK, then there's a different catch in order to catch it and let us know what the problem is. So once you are connected and you make the call, we're going to be storing the response, the graph edge response, in a variable, which is pretty much what we're going to be using to retrieve the information that we need. Let me show you what that will show. So if we go to we are now logged in. That's why. This is my development server, so it's a little different. That way I don't have to be going through GitHub or anything like that. So we're gonna log in again. Same process as last time. Once we're logged in, then that should work. Facebook timeline. There we go. So that's pretty much what we're gonna be getting. Alrighty, I want to show you what we get in result the first time, because what happens here is we get the response, and then we're going to be looping through the response. This is going to get us each of the posts, and then we want to go through their shared information, the actual content of the post, which is protected. We have to loop through the loop again, and then that actually gives us the content. But let me show you really quick what we actually get returned. Let me make that a little nicer for you. So you have never used this PRRE, pretty much makes any responses that you get to be like in a special HTML field that is gonna pre-format it for you. That way, kind of like if you were in a console. Let me show you. See, there we go. So that way you know actually what's going on. So again, once we go through the first loop, we're gonna be. So the first loop is pretty much all this right here. So this is, as I mentioned, looping through the post. This is all graph edge response that contains all of the posts. Then we do our first loop, which is gonna contain each post separately, and here you can see the information. In these scenarios, we have items that are protected, so you cannot directly access them if you wanted to. So that's why you have to do a second loop to go through the protected items, in which case you get the created time that we wanted, and the message, and an ID for the post. In this scenario, we're not going to be using the ID any further, so we don't need to worry about that. But as I mentioned, we're trying to get the created time and the actual message of the post. So again, we go through our second loop, which is going through the inside, through the protected items, And then the first thing that we want to do, in my scenario, I created a switch statement. That way we can handle the different the three different responses on the loop. If we get a created time, then I go ahead and format the time as I obtained the time from the date time object. Then from there, I make that into a Linux timestamp, and then I take that timestamp and create I create a new datetime in PHP, set that the timestamp that I received from that I converted, and then I set the new time zone, which is in my case, I'm in San Diego, so my time zone is going to be America, Los Angeles. And then we format this, the new time with the new time zone as we want it to. So in my scenario, we want the month written down, the date, comma, the year, comma, and then the actual time. So that's why you can see in here, pretty much what the format that we needed. Alrighty, and once we format that time, then we just post it. We echo that into the screen pretty much. If it's not the time, if, as I mentioned, if it's just the ID, then it's not a big deal. I don't want to do anything with it, so I'm forgetting about it. And then for the default, which is pretty much the actual message, that we're just posting the message. And if at any point, Google adds anything else, then we'll be getting it as a default. That way we can see what we want to do with it. Technically, you do want to make a new case for the actual message if you want it to be a little bit more secure. But in this scenario, that will suffice. Alrighty, so that's pretty much how you do it. Let me take this out, and then you get all your responses. One thing to note, I'm putting a p tag. I'm wrapping everything in a paragraph tab. That way, I can get a little bit of separation, and I can style them once in the actual page. And then we actually put a couple span classes in there. That way we can handle the content more in detail. So as I mentioned, you can see in here, we're styling it. Facebook has a different color, a little bigger. The date is bold, a little smaller, and then just the actual message is normal font. So you can go ahead and style it, however you want it. There's a lot more information that you can actually get out of this, but in or specific scenario, that's pretty much what we were going for. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you need the code, again, you can go to social.interactiveutopia.com. That's going to be the stable version of the app. There's a GitHub repository where you can go and get all the code. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I'll be here to help out. All right. So once again, this is Gilbert, Interactive Utopia, or website interactiveutopia.com. And once again, anything at all, let me know. Have a great day.